There is the joy. Tottenham Hotspur, after 17 long years, have finally won a trophy. And after 41 long years, it's a trophy in Europe. And Ruben Amorim has come up short. And Ange Postecoglou, in his 100th game as Tottenham Hotspur's manager, has done what he said he'd do and won a trophy in his second season in charge.
Incredible scenes for Tottenham. And what has been a dreadful domestic season. What a moment. Glory is what Tottenham Hotspur talk about, what their supporters dream of, and it's been so long. But this man scored the vital goal, and they have finally got their hands on some silverware.
This is their moment. This is their night. There was just some spark you felt was lacking in what Manchester United provided. They left all the drama on the road to Bilbao, and in the end, their train ran out of steam just short of the station. What a night for Tottenham Hotspur. That goal from Brennan Johnson just before half-time, 42nd minute. Tears of resignation, tears of despair. But for Tottenham Hotspur, with their injury problems and a team that wasn't maybe the one that Ange Postecoglou would have wished to put out tonight, without Maddison, without Kulusevski, with Son on the bench, but still they found the way, as Manchester United had done on the way to this final. And now it's Tottenham's night.
He may well didn't get them technical players on, but he got his first choice back four, and they've got that coveted clean sheet. What a performance by them. At times they rode their luck, as you do in finals, and you always felt that United would get a chance, but when it felt assured, their goalkeeper made a brilliant save.
And Van de Ven cleared off the line. It's been a while since a silversmith has had that to do. And I dare say the man who's doing it now might well not have been in his profession the last time they needed to engrave Tottenham Hotspur on a trophy. And what a night it must be in North London. They've got the stadium, they've got the training ground, they've got state-of-the-art everything, and now they've a trophy to go in their brand new trophy cabinet. Well, this is just incredible to think how Tottenham have managed to achieve this. From one place above relegation in the Premier League to the second highest pinnacle in the European mountain range. Europa League is Tottenham's. Disappointment for Masri, tears for Bruno Fernandes. But the silver lining for Manchester United, perhaps Amorim has the chance to actually proceed with his project. A remarkable evening, and an evening that's ended with a victory after all these years. It is glory, glory, Tottenham Hotspur.
Yes, thanks George and Gary. Well, there you have it. Tottenham Hotspur are the Europa League champions. There will be incredible celebrations in Bilbao tonight, and you can see exactly what it means to them, Shay.
Yeah, great night for Tottenham Hotspur. It wasn't a brilliant final, let's be brutally honest, actually, but taking nothing away from these set of fans and these set of players. And Big Ange, we talked about him before the game, how much pressure he's under, and you know, it's great for him. We've got a sort of soft spot for him in this country, of course, with his Celtic connections, and again, you know, I'm sure he's thinking, I'll stick it up every single reporter in England about, you know, I always won a trophy in my second season.
Yeah, he's done it.
He said it from the very start of this season, because he was getting a lot of stick, and people even laughed at him even more when he said that. Well, he's backed it up now, so great credit to him. I mean, I think they had one shot on target, Tottenham. So again, we spoke before, can they sit defensive? I know the guys covered them before the game, and they're right. Can they defend deep? Can they defend in a low defensive block? Can they keep this Man United team out? And they can, and they did. And it's great celebrations in the stadium, and as George says, back in London as well, I'm sure there'll be a few parties tonight.
Oh, it's brilliant. Like a 17-year wait for a trophy, 41 years for a European trophy, Richard. for those fans in the stadium tonight to witness that, to have that moment, that's pretty special.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was at Wembley at the weekend and I seen the Crystal Palace fans and what it meant to them to go and win something, and it's the same for these Tottenham fans. They've been, I suppose, the butt of jokes for a very long time, and now finally they've got a trophy. They've got something to celebrate, something to sort of put an end to this season, which has been a disaster domestically. But they've qualified for the Champions League. They've won a trophy. They've got a team that they can celebrate now over the summer. They've got a manager who's delivered on what he promised. And I mean, Tottenham for so long have been on the verge of being a side that can compete for titles. I still think they're a way away from it, but now they've got the know-how, they've got the experience. And I think earlier on in the campaign we spoke about managers being adaptable, and Ruben Amorim not being adaptable, sticking to the rigid system that he has, and criticising Ange for his defensive tactics. Well, over the last couple of weeks he's changed a little bit. He's shown that he's willing to do what's best for the team rather than just play the Ange way, and tonight they reaped the benefits from it. It was a fantastic defensive performance, although not a great game to watch.
Well, what a moment for that man there, their captain, Heung-min Son. The fact that he came off the bench tonight, he's 10 years at Tottenham, Kenny, he's having his moment, he's winning a trophy.
Yeah, they'll all share the experience together. Son coming off the bench, of course, doesn't carry the influence that he did previously at the football club, but difficult to pick out one individual Spurs player this season. It's a real kind of collective effort. It's amazing, really, in terms of Postecoglou, his philosophy, how he wants to play, that open, attacking style of swashbuckling type of football, but saw none of that this evening. That's the harsh reality of it. We saw none of it. What we saw was a dogged defensive display from his team. He just kind of dug their heels in on the edge of the box and kind of refused to be beaten. And that's the side of the game which I have to admire as well. I haven't seen enough of that from this Tottenham team, and I think certainly in my experience of football, most successful teams domestically and internationally have both. They have that attacking side to the game, that kind of flair, individual quality, but they can also sit in and defend, and they accept it, they understand the game. You have to do both, even in a game that's changing year on year. Any team that can do both effectively will be successful, and we've seen it tonight, this Tottenham team. We spoke about it in the second leg against Bodo Glimt. We got a hint of it in terms of accepting the reality of the situation, maybe sacrificing a bit of attacking threat, but understanding what's required in the moment. And the last 20 minutes of that game, that Tottenham team more or less refused to be beaten.
Yeah, and look at the scenes here, Shay.
Yeah,
You've played football for a very long time. To have moments like that.
We mentioned Son before the game, starting on the bench. You know, didn't have a big impact, of course, but he'd done his defensive duties well. But I think he's outpouring of emotion there. I think actually he's been at the club such a long time. You think of every training session, every meeting, every game he's played, good, bad or indifferent. You know, this is the cherry on top. This is why you go to training as a young kid. This is, you know, his family probably in the crowd and what have you. And he's overtaken with the emotion of the whole thing. And Dunne mentions the Crystal Palace fans, Newcastle fans not that long ago. These sets of fans have not seen that much success, and in these players as well. So it's brilliant for everyone connected to Tottenham. It really is. And again, you know, it's quite emotional to see all the players and fans, even grown men. You see some of the Tottenham fans crying there behind the goal. It's a special night for them.
Yeah, and Ange, you could see the emotion in Ange.
Yeah.
You know, it means a lot to him, I'm sure, after the season that he's had, especially the results in the Premier League as well, Richard, to have it now that he's ending the season with some silverware.
Yeah, and I think it must have been an interesting half-time dressing room in there, because you could almost see before when they scored the goal there was a little bit of anxiousness even in the fans at 45 minutes to go, and they looked like they were hanging on straight away, but he must have instilled some sort of belief in them, some sort of defensive structure to say, listen lads, believe what we've trained with this last few weeks, defend with your lives. And the team bought into it. The team have sort of followed his lead all the way through in terms of his attacking prowess and how he wants to play, and now they've bought into this defensive side and he's brought them success. And he's changed as a person, I think, over the season, and he's gone through different emotions in terms of being that bubbly
he's
character.
He's gone from miserable to even more miserable.
Well, he'd be delighted now.
Delighted
now. No, I think he's being wrongly accused of being negative, of being this, of being that, of criticised for not being good enough, your team's hopeless and all this stuff. And the league suggests they have, but he's won a trophy and he's been adaptable. He's come back out. Kenny doesn't believe
I don't
me,
think. Yeah, I don't think he's handled the criticism. I think some of that criticism hasn't been justified. You have the season they've had domestically, 21 defeats. The criticism's going to come. You have to accept it. I think he could have dealt with it better. I think he's been very kind of thin-skinned. He's took it personally. I looked at one stage if he'd fallen out with those supporters not too long ago. Good to see the reaction tonight with him kind of re-engaging with the supporters. But this has to be the start of something now for Tottenham Hotspur with Ange, the players and the fans.
But I think with that Tottenham team, if you look over the course of the season, if Tottenham had their full squad available for the season, they don't finish 6th, 17th, wherever they are. Man United are where they are because that's their level. I think Tottenham are down bottom half of the league because of the injuries, because of the...
But I think they're 17th because he wouldn't change. Having lost those key players, he wouldn't modify his approach. He was very stubborn in terms that he wouldn't change.
But I don't think he had the defensive players to do it.
He had a lot of injuries in there as well.
All the defensive line.
Yeah.
I think next season, if they... And I do agree with Kenny, they have to be a little bit...
More
adaptable. They have to be a little bit more defensive.
And they have been in the last couple of games.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what does happen now, because obviously the talk before the game was it doesn't matter if Ange wins or loses, he's out the door.
Yeah.
That's come from strong sources. But again, a game like this, you mentioned, was it 41 years since they won a European trophy, 17 since any domestic trophy. It's very difficult now for Daniel Levy sitting there tonight watching that, and the owners and the powers that be to go, do you know what,
The momentum from
because
this.
the fans will
I'd be surprised if he walks. There's an argument that I understand that I told you I was right all along. I don't think he will, because the squad's too strong. There's too much talent there.
Yeah,
there's real potential in that squad.
There is real potential.